Hi, my name's Lisa and I live in this tiny 1969 vintage caravan, traveling all around the place and doing a little bit of saxophone busking on the side for a bit of extra income. In my last few videos you would have seen me getting ready for this Cyclone Alfred bearing down on the Queensland coast, with thanks to Weather Watch TV and Cyclones Oz, and keeping an eye on it and just waiting for it to come and eventually get us. Midday on Friday. There's my little angel. Looking pretty mild around here. Windy, but not excessive. While it's relatively calm here at the moment and I can open up everything in the van, the window and the door and everything, I'm going to use this opportunity to cook as much of this meat up as I can, have it pre-cooked. So once we have to close everything in and the windows and doors and everything have to be shut because of the heavy rain that's coming and the wind, I won't have to worry about cooking in the caravan while it's all closed up, because I don't like doing that. I don't like cooking inside at all. So these are my delicious burgers that I got. Going to cook all of those up and maybe even a couple of steaks as well, because it's going to be a few days of heavy rain. So I'll do that now, and then when I've got those sizzling, I'll sit down and fill you in on where I am at with this all at the moment, in relation to what the comments I've been getting are. So what I'm doing basically here is I've put all of it into the one pan, and I'm just going to cook it as a big giant lump that I can then cut up and mix in with eggs. I've still got about 6 organic eggs left, so I'm kind of using them sparingly at the moment because I want them to last, and I've got more meat than I have eggs, and so I'll use up the meat, put the sputter guard on, and hopefully it all blows out the window. While that meat is sizzling away there, I'm exhausted. I am really exhausted. It's been a long waiting game, and there's been a lot of anxiety, even if it's just under the surface. I know I'm, making the best of every situation, because that's my thing. I make pink lemonade out of life's lemons, and life throws you challenges and you just have to overcome them. And if I didn't have that attitude, I would have given up on this life a long time ago. So a couple of comments, saying that I was crazy and risking my life by staying here. I need to explain to you that I did not have an option. My truck is at the mechanic getting repairs done, so leaving was not an option. I'm making the best of the situation I'm in, as are the other people that are here. The other people that are here, like me as well, couldn't afford to go. I mean, there's a reason why we're homeless, like most of us that are here don't have another option. That's the reality, guys. Like, don't give me a hard time about it. Like, don't criticize me because I'm, trying to be lighthearted about a situation that's actually really anxiety provoking, because that's not helpful. There's enough of the media and the news doing that. And I keep explaining to people who are worried about me, like, yes, we are looking to be in the impact zone. It's looking at striking, the last one, which was a couple of hours ago, I looked at, said it's going to be hitting Beerburrum, which is the Glasshouse Mountains. It's pretty much just down the road from us, from the northern, sort of halfway between here and Brisbane, Caboolture kind of area. Going off somewhere and staying at a hotel was not an option. You need to understand what it's like to be in this financial position, and I'm not saying that because I want you to feel sorry for me, but just don't pick on me, like, it is what it is, and I've always made the best of the challenges involved in this lifestyle, but yeah, it just wasn't helpful, and we are bracing for impact, and we know it's going to be tough. It's slow moving, again, slowing down again and again and again, which draws out this whole process, and there's only so much pressure and anxiety a human being can deal with over an extended period of time with no set resolution or understanding of exactly what we're bracing for. It's hard. Of course it's hard. And yeah, you know, I again didn't get to sleep till 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching all the reports, and then I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to check it again and look out the window and see what it's doing. I did go back to sleep though, because I checked my Weather Watch TV guy, and he'd posted a thing and said, look, it's not going to be till, oh, look at this. Hello. Look what just, oh, can you see that? Little leafhopper. Oh, I don't know if you can see him. Isn't he cute? Don't know how he got in here. What are you doing in here, mate? Oh, there he goes. Oh, 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 no, he's flying around. Okay, he's on the ceiling now. And, you know, they're talking about, look, it's not going to make landfall till sort of tomorrow, or sometime in the early hours of tomorrow to, you know, tomorrow day, depending on, it's only going 3 kilometers an hour at the moment, this thing. It's just slower than a walking human. And so, but we will start feeling the impacts from it. You know, obviously it's a big wide system, so from about you know, midnight-ish tonight, late tonight, we will definitely start feeling it. And at that point, if, you know, as I said in my previous video, sorry, I'm getting a bit of a throat, I don't know if it's from the wind. If it gets to the point where there is, you know, danger and it's not safe to remain in the caravan, then yes, I will be going to a safer building. Now, apparently the big building that you would have seen in the video right behind my caravan, I just found out from my neighbours that that will be set up as an evacuation centre. They're not sure why they haven't already opened it up, but it will be available, and apparently it's a rated sturdy building, supposedly. It doesn't look like it to me. I'm more worried about all the solar panels up on the roof if anything goes flying around, but apparently that's it. So I couldn't get closer to it, you know, and there will be Red Cross and SES, and people will be here when required. So that's reassuring. So I don't have far to go. Yeah, but I don't have anywhere else to be right now. This is it. This is life on the road, and the risk you take. Look, I did not want to be in Queensland this summer. That was not in my plan. I knew that the weather was getting crazy for cyclones, and I wasn't here last summer. I was down in Victoria. I had all intentions of spending summer in Victoria, and if winter, you know, if I'm going to spend time up here, do it in winter time. But, you know, my circumstances changed because my daughter had a baby, so I went to Brisbane and spent the summer with her, and then I was in a position where I couldn't really afford to drive back to Victoria. My truck needed repairs, I knew that, and I had to be back up here in May for this caravan event that I'd booked into. I'm playing saxophone there, so, and I really enjoy that event, and I want to do that. So I was like, well, I'll just hang tight here until May. Normally cyclones don't come far this far south, but it usually rains and rains and rains, and it's humid and hot. It's actually been a really mild summer here. It hasn't been overly humid, apart from maybe, you know, a few days where it was unpleasant, and those are the days when I chill in the river or come in here and turn the air conditioning on. I have been running the dehumidifier, which is just the rooftop aircon, has a dry setting which sucks all the moisture out. That's running all the time just to keep all, you know, things from going moldy and things like that, because that did happen last time I was here. I got mold on my curtains and things like that, and I can't live with mold, so that's running all the time. This has been a mild, really mild summer for this area. Normally very, very wet, and we really got off pretty lightly as far as the rain levels go. So this is just a sort of a late weather event that's been a bit unusual, and every forecaster admits that this is an odd one. It's not your usual system, and all those people who have dealt with category 5s and things like that, who are just laughing on the internet because they don't understand why people are freaking out about this one, which is category 2, possibly going down to a category 1. The reason why people are freaking out is because it's going to impact a huge amount of the population in comparison to what other cyclones impact. Like, they're usually in a more regional, remote areas where there might be, you know, 100,000, 200,000 people, not millions of people, which this one is impacting. The fact that it's also coming with a high tide means that, you know, coastal low-lying areas and river areas and canal areas based along that coast, which is where, you know, most people in this country live. I mean, people overseas don't understand, but unlike America, the vast majority of this country is empty. It's empty. We all live around, I think something like 90-something% of the whole population lives around the edges. And that's one of the reasons why, as much as I love the beach, I would never want to live there, because, yeah, exactly this reason, you know, erosion and sea events. Just got my Montville mist water delivery. Look at this. This is the best water in the world, by the way. Oh, there's my reflection. It is good. I got 2 15-litre bottles. I get 2 of these delivered every 2 weeks, and I've got a little dispenser that I put up here, and that's how much water I go through. Meanwhile, while everybody's being told to stock up on water, we said, not really sure, because it's going to be raining crazy, so if you ran out of water, just put a bucket outside. But I have spring water that comes up from the artesian basin, up through all these rocks. It's the most beautiful water in the world. It's naturally alkaline, and honestly, it's one of the reasons why I love being here, is because this water just makes a difference to my life like you have no idea. And now I've got an extra, I've just filled up the water tank in the caravan again, just everything to give me more weight. That's another 60 kilos of weight underneath me now. And now I've got another 30 kilos that I'll put up the front. So yeah, and I've got 2 weeks worth of beautiful spring water, which is great. So yeah, life is good. I'm not going to actually put it on the dispenser, just in case we get a little bit of rock and roll. I don't want water going everywhere. I'll leave those 2 bottles solid sitting at the front there. I've already filled up from the last delivery. I've got 2.5 litre of it put away, 1 in the fridge, 1 behind my bed, and I've got another 5 litres in the car. So I've got plenty of water for the next couple of days when it's really hairy. And then when things settle down, I'll put that bottle, because once you put it on the dispenser, can't really move it after that. So I will wait until I know we're going to be holding steady before that happens. But that's reassuring. I wasn't sure. Originally it was going to hit, you know, around today, and I wasn't sure if I'd even get my delivery. So I'm stoked that they came to do that. And that, yeah, it gives me a little bit of reassurance. I've just munched all those burger patties into chunks, so I can put them in the fridge and just have chunks when I want to, but it's made my mouth water, so I'm going to eat some right now. Put all that hamburger meat into a glass jar to cool and put in the fridge. Now I'm going to cook up some porterhouse. These ones I actually got from Woolworths, because the ones I was getting from the IGA are great, and they're a little bit smaller and they're cheaper. These ones are $32 a kilo as opposed to $20 a kilo, but the benefit is that they come in this shrink wrap, which means the use by date is a lot further away. 17th of March. It lasts a lot longer when it's been vacuum sealed like that, so that's why I stocked up on these ones. I've already eaten and cooked up the ones I got from the IGA over the last few days, so I'm into these ones now, and I got quite a few packets of these. These ones are huge. I just had to rearrange them a bit, so 2 of these take up the same room that 4 of the IGA ones. I don't actually like getting supermarket meat, because I find that a lot of moisture comes out of it when you cook it, but the fact that it's vacuum sealed and will last in my fridge a lot longer is the only reason I bought it this time. When I went off-grid camping for that week, I also bought those ones. So normally meat, you know, it only lasts 2, maybe 3 few days in the fridge. I like my meat fresh, and so if I'm going to go somewhere where I know I'm not going to get access to fresh meat on a regular basis, then these ones lasting like a couple of weeks is pretty awesome. My steak is cooked, and I'm boiling the kettle because I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. I don't normally drink tea, but I have these from when I was having trouble sleeping. They're just a relaxing tea blend. Let me see, what have they got in it? Fennel, peppermint, lemon balm, chamomile, lavender. And that'll just help calm the nerves a little bit. And I've given some to my neighbours as well, because I actually bought a whole carton of this stuff because I love it so much. Let that steep a little. Another glass container to put my cooked steaks into while my tea is steeping. I never use plastic containers to put food in, cooked food in. Always use glass. It's way better for you. We don't need any more plastics leaching into our body. And I think the last thing I'll probably do is fry up a few eggs, have them. I'm happy to eat meat cold and eggs cold. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. And that way I am fully prepped. I can enjoy this cup of tea and just relax for the rest of the day and wait for the storm to come. Got all this beautiful leftover. That's from cooking the hamburgers and the steaks and the butter and oil from the meat. And I'm actually going to pour that in a cup and drink it because it's a really nice soup. I actually forgot I had this really cute little teacup. Look at that. It's got a matching saucer and everything. Somebody gave me this when I was locked down in Warburton in Victoria. Ray, his name was, and he gave it to me because it matches the colours. It's got green on the inside, matches the colours of my caravan. So thank you, Ray. If you happen to be watching this, I had completely forgotten about it because, like I said, I don't drink tea anymore. I haven't been drinking tea since I've been on the carnivore diet, and I've never been a tea drinker or a coffee drinker anyway, but I do like a herbal, you know, when I was going to sleep at night, and I haven't been doing that either, so I forgot about my cute teacup. So I kind of did things the wrong way. I should have put the meat broth into the mug and my herbal tea into this, but anyway, we do things upside down around here. So I'm going to enjoy this first and then have my little herbal tea a bit later when it's cooled down. I just put a bit of boiling water in my cast iron, and I only use water. Never use detergent on your cast iron. Someone borrowed my cast iron once and used detergent and I was very grumpy. So boiling water only. And then I actually use, once it's clean, I get a paper towel to dry it off and a bit of tallow onto it and put it back onto the heat element while it's still a bit hot. Towel. Teeny tiny kitchen's getting a bit crowded. Dry that off. Put some tallow on it. Rub the tallow back in. Grab a chunk out of the fridge. Don't need very much, just a little pinch. And I'll just rub that in there. Put it back on the heat, let it melt a bit. That'll be beautifully seasoned for next time. Perfectly seasoned, clean cast iron. Okay, afternoon update. Friday, March the 7th. Awaiting a cyclone, Cyclone Alfred, here on the Sunshine Coast. And I timed everything really well, actually. When I finished all my cooking and everything, I took Pixie for a really big walk around. It was still relatively fine and a little bit windy, but nothing tragic. Went and had a shower, just washed my hair and had a nice shower. And just as I came out from the shower, the rain started, and it's now raining quite heavily. And definitely the wind is definitely picking up and gusting, but my van is not moving at all. I actually went out and when I filled the water tank back to top up again, I wound the legs down a bit because sometimes when you're sitting for a bit, the ground sinks in a little bit. So I made sure I just wound them super tight again, and everything's sitting very, very tight at the moment. So I'm feeling good about that. I haven't checked the news or the weather report since I first checked that Weather Watch YouTube channel this morning. And that's on purpose, just because my mind needed a break from all of it. And I don't know if I'd mentioned it this morning, but I just want to mention it again without meaning to sort of, it's a touchy subject, but just bear in mind that I am diagnosed autistic and have complex PTSD, so I'm very prone to anxiety, especially in situations of uncertainty, and I have spent pretty much a lifetime of being misunderstood and bullied, so I don't really handle very stressful situations very well. So if I'm not doing this right, just be kind. I'm trying to do my best, and I'm trying to keep you guys updated, and also, you know, regulate myself so that I don't get too wigged out and have a meltdown, because that wouldn't be fun for anybody. So having not checked anything, you know, I've had my shower, I've prepared my food, I've tightened everything up, I'm as ready as I possibly can be. It's nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, and they did say that we would start feeling the effects around 4 o'clock as far as the increasing wind. Having said that, I haven't checked it again, so I'll do that now while I'm recording this. I'll have a quick checkup and see what the latest is. Let's check the Bureau of Meteorology first. They should be the experts, but their radar maps are not accurate at all. I actually find the Apple iPhone weather app actually shows a better picture of the actual cloud and rain bands than the bomb one does. So now let's see what the last one. The last update they did was 40 minutes ago. I don't know if you can see that there. Oh, it's probably a bit bright. I'll put a picture up on it. That's what I've been doing. I've been just screenshotting it and putting photos up here. It's basically saying, as of 1 p.m. today, it really hasn't moved very much at all since the last report. And they're still saying trekking in a northerly position. Yeah, Brisbane, Caboolture, but all the way up with the extended effect zone all the way up to Noosa, which is quite a ways north of where I am. So we will definitely have some serious impacts, but not the worst of it, because as I said, the worst of it is on the southern part as it treks across. I always forget that this is in reverse, so as it treks across, it will actually, yeah, the worst of it will be in the southern end. So Brisbane's going to cop it like the Gold Coast has been since yesterday. You know, thoughts and prayers, and my heart really does go out to anyone who's dealing with it a lot worse than I am. And the only reason, you know, I'm panicking more than usual, even though I know I'm in probably one of the, if you're going to be hit by the cyclone, this is probably the safer part of its landfall area to be in. But you know, I am in a tin can, so not exactly built to storm standards. So that's the only anxiety I have, really. But there's people who are going to probably lose everything with the flooding, and that's an awful thought. So I'm really feeling for those people. Tonight is going to be a very anxious night for everyone in the Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Caboolture, Bribie Island. I think actually they've been evacuated, but that, you know, those outskirt islands coming in here are going to be copping it really badly. The beaches have suffered massive erosion all the way up the Sunshine Coast, from the Gold Coast all the way up, and that's tragic because we love our beaches up here. We have the best beaches in the world. Well, I don't know, there's some pretty cool beaches up north too, but they have crocodiles. We don't have crocodiles, so that's an advantage. Our beaches are good, and they're white sand and they're beautiful. So it's sad to see the havoc being caused down there, but the main the main concern is destruction of property and danger to people's lives, and I am worrying about everyone else and praying for them, because I just hope everyone stays safe and that it's not as bad as the worst case scenario that I know they have to report. That I understand it, because you'd rather give the worst case scenario and be pleasantly surprised than downplay it and be shocked and disappointed. So I get where they're coming from. But yeah, just reassurances. So far so good here. It is going to be a stressful night as this thing slowly crawls towards us. It might not come until tomorrow morning. It's moving so slowly, everyone's getting a little bit sick and fed up of it. Like, just let's get it over and done with, because the anticipation and uncertainty and waiting is definitely the hardest part at this point. I will feel differently if it gets really gnarly up here, like, but for the moment, the waiting has been hard. So wishing everyone who's dealing with this well. I know I have made a few connections with other people in similar circumstances to me in this through YouTube. Love the YouTube community, through just people who responded to previous videos who are now concerned for me and praying for me. Much appreciated. And you know, I've got people in America and in Europe and from all over the place wishing me the best, and that's really special. And yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot to know that there's people that care. I don't have any family around, so there's no other option for me to go anywhere and stay in a house or anything like that. And as I said before, I don't have the finances. I did just give the rest of the money that I made, gave that to the mechanic yesterday, so that was good. There's going to be a little bit more to pay now because the shroud, which we had to order from America, cost quite a lot of money in shipping to get it here. I just got a message from Tammy and Tiaras. If you could, I'm going to give a shout out to Tammy and Tiaras, because we chat on the phone all the time, and she's such a sweetheart, checking in on me all the time. And her life and my life are so completely different. Like, she's like, yours is so full of adventure and you're so brave, and I'm just a housewife at home pottering around in garden and doing crafting. But she's just a darling human being. She's like a living angel with the most biggest heart, and I just love her to bits. So I'm going to put a link so you can go. Can you give my friend Tammy and Tiaras a follow and subscribe to her channel and give her some love, because she's been giving me so much love, more than anyone else in my life at the moment, and that's pretty special. And I love you, Tammy, and I better go because she's just messaged me and I want to let her know that I'm okay. It's good to have friends that really care. It's so special. And she's, you know, she's really into pushing people to look after their mental health, and that's so important because it's something that I think does get overlooked and dismissed quite a bit. And she, you know, she's dealing with issues like many of us are, but she does it in her way and I do it in my way. We're both coping with life differently, and our circumstances are different, but we're like soul sisters on the inside. So all right, I'm gonna go talk to my friend, and I'll keep you posted if anything develops as the evening goes on. Love you, bye. About to tuck into my yummy scrambled eggs that I did in the microwave. It's more like a souffle. Put so much butter in this one, so it's going to be like a beautiful pudding for me. Yum. On for the water. Sorry, phone. I'm just going to disconnect you for a minute because I need to boil the kettle. Those eggs were delicious. So buttery, so yummy. All right, you do your thing. You go down there. It's relatively quiet out there at the moment, surprisingly. Here's how I wash the dishes. I don't have running hot water, so if I want hot water, I have to boil the kettle.
Tonight, Tropical Cyclone Alfred will continue moving towards the coast, but it will do so very slowly. By Saturday morning, it is expected to lie just off the coast of Brisbane around Moreton Bay. And then at this stage, the official track map shows that Tropical Cyclone Alfred is expected to cross the coast later on Saturday morning. After that, it will move over southeastern parts of Queensland towards the Darling Downs and will be downgraded back into a tropical low over the weekend. Importantly, regardless of Alfred's final category at crossing, severe and significant impacts are expected well ahead of and also after the crossing. This will particularly be the case to areas south of the cyclone itself. We also do have a severe weather warning current. That includes areas within that tropical cyclone warning zone and extends up to and including Gympie and down to and including Coffs Harbour.
5:15, Friday afternoon. Beautiful day. Beautiful day up here. I just want to say, if praying is your thing, I'll happily accept your prayers. If positive vibes are more your style, I'll accept those too. virtual hugs are really awesome. Just be kind, be nice, look after each other, and I'll see you next time.